Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here. Great for recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with somebody who might get something out of it. Guys, today we're going to talk about we're actually going to do the daily reflections from AA, which is titled "Giving It Away." Giving it away. Though they knew they must help other alcoholics if they would remain sober, that motive became secondary. It was transcended by the happiness they found in giving themselves for others. Those words for me refer to a transference of power through which God, as I understand Him, enters my life. Through prayer and meditation, I open channels. Then I establish and improve my conscious contact with God through action. I then receive the power I need to maintain my sobriety each day. By maintaining my spiritual condition, by giving away what has been given so freely to me, I am granted a daily reprieve. And guys, what they're talking about there is keeping recovery at the forefront, which is why I do these videos. It's why I do so many things I do. Go to my AA meetings. As a matter of fact, I'm thrilled to announce, I found out last night, it's going to be announced Friday, I get to chair my home group's meeting for the next 3 months, and it's just another opportunity for me to be of service, and I'm excited about that. Because again, I know I'm doing really well this time around, and I'm being given the opportunity to build a life, and I know that is only going to continue to happen if I continue to actively pursue sobriety, actively work my recovery program, which is why I do all the things that I do. Excuse me, allergy season's fall allergies, it's cooling down, fall allergies are getting bad. I gotta start taking Claritin or something again. So I'm a little scratchy today, bear with me. But yeah, guys, you know what? Like I talk about constantly, I love my life today. For the first time in my life, I'm really, and it's crazy to me that I'm 52 years old, and for the first time in my life, I'm really actually finding out who I am, what matters to me, and that I'm actually a good person. For many, many years, I'd given up on myself, and that's something nobody should do. Every one of us has inherent value in us, and the better we try to be, the more we try to engage with our life and our world, and the more we actively participate in our world, the better we are, the more contribution we bring. And every one of us brings contribution in our daily lives, whether you realize you do or not. You don't have to go out and do these grand, crazy gestures. Just showing up, listening to another alcoholic, sharing your story, guiding somebody coming up behind you and letting them know. Like every one of us showing up these and sober in our everyday life shows others around us that recovery is possible, and that's huge, guys. It's why I talked about this the other day. Peer to peer is a huge part. It's the most effective part, I feel, of recovery. I mean, it's great to meet with counselors, and they're very important. Again, I tell people all the time, get whatever and all the help you can, whatever help you need, and all the help that you can. I love working with my doctors, the nurses, my recovery advisor, my recovery coach, my therapist. But more than anything, I get the most value in my recovery I get from doing these videos and going to meetings and being around other recovering alcoholics and addicts. They are the ones that show me this is possible. Like it was, I got into rehab knowing I had to put down the drugs, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what to do. I was lost. I was absolutely lost. And it was guys coming in, taking time out of their own day to come into the rehab for the AA and NA meetings that they put on there that it gave me the spark. They gave me the real hope that it was possible, because I heard other people talking about the same things I was feeling, same things I was experiencing, and then telling me they went on to be productive and put a life together and hold down jobs and buy houses and start businesses. And without that, I would have never believed that it was possible for me, for the culmination of everything I've been through and everything I'd done to myself would have led me to believe that that was my lot at this point. That I tried many other times to get clean, and I never could, because I was never working a spiritual program. Excuse me, trying to get the scratch out of my throat. But that's what I do today, guys. I'm so incredibly fortunate to understand that, at least for me, I believe, and I can only speak for myself. Everybody else can feel what you feel, chase what you chase. But to me, the spiritual recovery is what's made the difference to me. I understand that the disease of addiction is a spiritual condition, or a lack of spiritual condition, I guess is a good way to put it. and I'm feeling it. You know, like one slogan I loved hearing was, "You can't fill a God-sized hole with drugs," and I really feel like that's what I was trying to do for the longest time. And I just never took the time to find out who I was and what mattered to me, because I was always trying to medicate myself from the crap that I was putting myself through. And it just, it started when I was very young, and I was putting these massive, massive, barriers in front of me, and then trying to get around them through just sheer will, and it just never got me anywhere. All I did was just, spin my wheels for decades. This time around, guys, I surrendered, right? And I gave my will over to God, and immediately God put recovery and my opportunities for me to speak and share my story and get comfortable with doing so in front of me. And the more that happened, the better I started to feel about myself, the more I started to learn about myself. And that's the most important thing. That's what's made the difference, because by finally looking at my strengths, my weaknesses, my areas where I'm strong and areas where I'm deficient, I've understood where I need to put more attention to learn, and then where I want to lead from, because you want to lead from your strengths and you want to try and build up your deficiencies. And that's common sense, but if you don't know that and you don't know what these areas are, you can't fix them and you can't lead from them. For once in my life, I'm able to, and again, I'm not anywhere near where I need to be, or I shouldn't say that. I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet, because I want to be, wildly successful. I want to be comfortable. I want to be in a family. I want to have children. But for once in my life, I'm actually actively putting those things together, and just instead of just labeling them as pipe dreams that I have no intention of ever fulfilling, today I'm actually able to take steps to lead me in that direction. And I understand it all starts for me. It all starts with me. So while I'm here by myself, I'm working on myself, and I'm becoming a part of a community. I'm actively seeking spiritual lessons and spiritual growth and expansion in every area of my life. And by doing so, I'm starting to put together a life that's actually worth living. Guys, it's amazing to me. It's beautiful to me the way things expand. Like, I thought I was finishing the biggest job I've ever taken on as my company. I thought I was going to wrap that up today. And lo and behold, as I got everything, I have to order 2 doors. I've replaced 12 doors in a home, 3-family house. And I had to order 2 more, so there's 2 more I'm waiting for. But I thought, that was the end of the job. But the customer's so happy with the work I'm doing. He's like, you know what, let's do this. So he actually added cutting in 2 garbage disposals, including the plumbing, the electrical, the mounting. Like, I just added another few more days of work to this job, and I've got other work. But all these things are happening because I'm showing up the best version of me that's ever walked the planet. I've never had this kind of success. I've never had this kind of confidence in myself, with the ability to go out and do this kind of work, and have the people I'm working for say, hey, you know what, while I got you here, let me spend another few $1,000s that I wasn't planning on spending, because they're so happy with the opportunity to have me there, and they understand that by having me do it, it's going to get done right, and it's going to save them money now, and I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life. And it's not about material wealth or possessions, but at the same time, guys, and I say that all the time because I just don't want anybody that has less than somebody else to feel this. But of course, you want to chase that, guys, because money is energy, and it's also the key to opportunity, guys. So you gotta be, you want to be successful. You want to go out and do things to the best of your ability, and you want to know your worth, and you want to make sure you're charging and you're getting paid for your value. But you don't want to make everything about money. Like, I'm not trying to say that, if you got X amount of money now, you're okay. That's not the case. But if you do everything in your life to make yourself the best version of you, then inevitably money's going to come into play, because you have to have money to get resources, and to buy food and to buy clothes, and house yourself, and there's nothing wrong with luxury items, and I'm looking forward to the day that I can just enjoy luxury. And I could go out and spend my money now on luxury items, but I understand and I believe that there's proper steps to doing so. And I'm making the best money I ever have. I don't know that that's going to sustain, so what I'm going to try and do is put enough together that I can invest in it, so that my money starts making me money, and then from that, I will start to enjoy luxury, right? I'm very comfortable and I'm very happy. I do take the time to make sure I'm enjoying my life, and I'm resting, and I'm treating myself, and but I'm not blowing my money. I'm doing so in a responsible fashion, so I'm saving. Actually, at this point in my life, I'm very fortunate in the fact that I'm saving more than I'm spending, which is amazing, right? If you can be in that situation, then that's going to lead to success, obviously, because it's starting to compound, it's starting to stack up. And that's a beautiful thing, and that's the rewards for living life well, and that's the way it should be. So don't ever look at it like, because I'm always very hesitant to say, because I don't want to box anybody out and I don't want to come off as braggart. But that's not to say you shouldn't chase wealth. You should chase joy. And, obviously having opportunities and being able to go and do things that make you happy require finances, right? They require money. And I'm making more money than I ever have, and I'm very happy with that. But I also understand that that's not that's not my overlying focus. My overlying focus is healing myself, building myself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And I understand that by doing so, I go out and I start my company, and then my company provides resources to me, and I do that to the best of my ability, and I expand in every situation, and I try and step up my game in every area. And the way that I find out that I'm doing that properly is the fact that I'm making more and more money, and I'm able to save money and start get ready to, well, I shouldn't say invest yet, because I still have some wreckage in my past that I got to take care of. And as soon as I do that, then I can start saving and investing, and I'm putting money aside for that. But again, I don't know what all it's gonna entail. But for once in my life, I have the resources to do whatever comes down, whatever it is I need to do, I can do. Not have to. For what? It's the first time in my life I'm able to go pay off everything in my past and not have to borrow it from somebody, and not have to get a loan to do anything. For anything that comes up, I literally can just go to my bank and take my money out and take care of it. And that's a beautiful thing, guys. There's a freedom that comes with that. But these are all things I only have today because I'm willing to get on here and sharing. Because, guys, one thing you understand, when you share what knowledge is brought to you, you learn more, you focus more on it. You have to fully understand something to explain it to somebody else. So that's part of the reason we say give away what's been so freely given to you, because it keeps you learning more lessons about that and finding new ways to apply that to your life so that you can turn around and show. Because the best way to teach, guys, is to lead by example, and that's something else I pray about every day. I ask God to help me step up, to live in such a way that my life is leading by example, because it's one thing to learn and read and teach, but it's an entire different ballpark when you're out there walking the walk of the talk that you talk, and that's what gives you credibility. And I like that today. For once, I understood it. One of the things I'm gonna enjoy and I'm looking forward to is the fact that at my AA meetings, by being the chair, I'm going to be the person signing people's court slips that are required to come to AA, and I got a good chuckle out of that, because I've never been stipulated to it, because I've always unfortunately had to wrap up my time because my record I was not a good candidate at the time for parole or probation. They would never give me these things because I could never complete them, and I failed them miserably every time. But today, look at the turnaround. Now, instead of having to be the person hoping to get to be able to give them the opportunity to go have a piece of paper signed to keep you out of jail, now I get to be the person signing that for other people. It's just another way to be of service, but it's just that's a big milestone for me, guys, to be on the other side of things today. And for once in my life, I'm more apt to go hang out with law enforcement officials than I am to go out and hang out with criminals. And I love that today, guys. It's progress. And again, I don't group it either way, but I'm trying to hang out with people that are doing the right thing. I'm not going to hang out with anybody because of what they do for a living, but I'm trying to be on the right side. And not even trying. I am on the right side of things today, and I'm incredibly grateful for that, guys. But I only am able to amass the things that I amass because I'm willing to share freely of my time, of my knowledge, of my story, of my experience, my strength, and my hope. And by doing so, it keeps me working to stay in front of the devil that's always right there waiting to take me backwards, right? And I'm so incredibly grateful for that today, guys. Guys, that is the lesson for today. We keep what we have by giving it away. We gain more knowledge by sharing what we've learned, right? When we help somebody else out, it helps us. It's a beautiful symbiotic relationship, and it's perfectly necessary, and it's absolutely beautiful. Guys, that is what we have for today. Thank you so much for being here. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.